I think a lot of us have the tendency to want to be right sometimes, and I think that can hurt us. And I talked about that in my adaptability mindset video, basically where I mentioned this anime character. You know, a lot of you who watch Blue Lock know what I'm talking about. Yoichi Isagi, right? How he's no special striker, and he's basically in a battle royale of strikers who are fighting to play for Japan's uh, World Cup team or something like that, right? And so, as I said, Isagi isn't someone who's unique. He has to be able to adapt, and he knows that because if he doesn't, then he'll get kicked out and doesn't have a chance of becoming that striker. Now, I was also watching this clip of Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about subject your thoughts to criticism, your own thoughts to criticism, and I think this adds to the adaptability mindset, and in that in order to have an adaptability mindset, you have to subject your thoughts to criticism. You have to. You have to see every possible route, and you have to be able to kind of think, okay, what's the best way to go about this? If that makes sense, right? I'll give you an example for me, for example, right? My YouTube channel. Okay. Now, I had the choice between editing videos or not editing videos. And maybe that's not like heavily binary either. It's like, okay, how to what degree am I editing those videos, right? So that creates like a whole spectrum of options. Am I doing like I don't know, crazy gaming edits or something like that? Like that level of edits, or am I doing enough to like just snip some things out, or am I not doing any at all like I am doing right now, right? And it's like how do you know which one how do you know which thought should move forward, I guess? How do you know which one to choose? Like you have all these different options, right? How do you know which one to choose? And I think that's heavily based upon what your goals are and what it is that more specifically resides within your value structures. So, for example, for Isagi, he just wanted to, I mean, I might be just assuming this, but like he wants to be able to play in Japan's World Cup team, right? And just be like one of the best strikers in the world, right? And in order to do that, he says he has to adapt, right? And to adapt, he has to subject his own thoughts to criticism. Any way he sees the pitch, any other technique, like different kinds of techniques, different kinds of way of playing the field, right? He has to subject all of those thoughts to criticism and see what the best way to win is, because in winning the game, you then get one step closer to becoming the world's greatest striker, right? Similarly, with me, it heavily depends on my goals. So now I know I could probably get more views, maybe more subscribers by editing my videos or something like that, right? But my entire sorry, my goals do not exactly like support that, I guess you could say. Um it's not within my value structure. Getting views and subscribers is like at the bottom of my value structure, because if that's something that is at the top, I feel as if I make that as a part of my identity, and then that's an issue because then that is tied to my self-worth and to some degree or manner, right? So that is all the way at the bottom. Yes, do I want more traction? It'd be kind of stupid not to, right? Like you don't want to degrade or anything like that. You do want to grow, but that is not the primary focus. That is at the bottom of the pyramid of the values. Now, what's at the top of the pyramid of values is me talking to you like I'm a human being. I don't want to edit my videos because again, I've said this over and over again, but I tend to use this as an example. I feel like people think I'm using this as a way to like over explain why I don't edit my videos, things like that, but I'm using it as an example to help you understand, okay, the reason I'm making the decisions that I have is because I've already subjected my thoughts to criticism and seen which routes I could possibly go, okay, and know those routes could get me. But I still choose to do this one because it is what resides at the top of my value pyramid, which is talking to you as if this is a conversation, for you to sit down and listen and understand that, okay, I'm going to teach you about a concept, and maybe you might integrate it, maybe you might not, maybe you already know about it, right? And maybe it might be the last missing puzzle piece that you needed in order to do something, right? Like these things are powerful, man. So that's why I sit down and talk to you like I'm a, you know, just another human being, that might be 2 or 3 steps ahead, or has this concept in his mind that he can't completely and utterly articulate, and maybe need the help of the brotherhood to, do that and get their thoughts on it as well. But that's why I do things the way I do them, right? It's heavily based upon my value structure. So you need to be careful not to associate with the thing, um, with the thought itself. You don't want to associate yourself with it. Like, I don't associate myself with as being the guy who makes unedited videos. I don't make that a part of my identity, because then I feel as if I know as if it might hinder my ability to grow. Because eventually, if I might want to do something like that, edit my videos or something like that, right? Not to like a heavily degree, but cut it to make it more concise. Maybe the audience says, low power mode again. Maybe the audience says that it needs to be more clear and concise, or maybe you could shorten it down, something like that, or they start valuing that. Then as a leader of this channel, right, I would do that, because if the quality of the content and the value that you're getting can be, condensed into something shorter, then yeah. But as of right now, I value more having like a conversational aspect while you're still getting the same value. Maybe just a little bit with like a little bit of ums and ims and, stuff like that. But I'm also practicing my ability to articulate myself on camera and look it in the eye, because quite frankly, it's not, alive. So it's kind of, I feel as if harder to keep eye contact with it, because I'm also talking to myself. It's kind of weird, but you guys are also watching, so I don't know. It's a mind mess. But again, getting back on track, right? Subject your own thoughts to criticism. Don't completely and utterly identify with them, because that might hinder your ability to grow. And you tend to see this in people, like boomers. Boomers, right? They're hard stuck on their ways. And I mean, if they choose to do things that way and it works out for them, for what it is that they value and the value that they think they're providing or whatnot, then you know what, so be it, right? Who are we to say anything? But if there's a more efficient and effective way, then someone might let you know. And people also have a saying in this, right? Some of our friends, like I said, sometimes your friends will ask you, or you'll talk to them about, certain topics where you criticize each other, and that kind of creates new avenues or new thought patterns, that'll then allow you to be like, oh yeah, I could do this too. And it gives you more options to choose from, which means more options to subject criticism upon, and then be like, all right, which one do I choose? And again, the way you find that out is, what is it that you value? Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. I know I tend to talk more about these concepts on self-improvement. I could probably make more practical videos about like working out, stuff like that, but I don't want to make too many of those, because there's already too many of those. I just feel like these mindset kind of videos help a lot more. And there's different ways to look at things, so I try to introduce all kinds of frameworks and mindsets that one might be able to think in to help, one of you brothers out. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all. Take it easy. Peace.